Hi, welcome to the advice column at MadisonKink.com. I'm Jay Blevins.
And I'm Jasmine St, and we're systemic therapists in Madison, Wisconsin. And today we're answering an email about someone that is looking for advice on how to deal with bruises in their vanilla relationship. However, the email we got has a bit of a twist to it. What's that about?
This person wrote in and says they have had a mistress for many years and a great relationship, but this person has recently entered into a vanilla relationship with a partner, and that relationship's going well, but they're getting to the point where it will probably become physical, and the person is wondering how do they explain if there might be marks left over from play sessions with the mistress, and would like some, they're not ready to kind of reveal yet where they came from, and is looking for a good excuse, basically.
Okay, so one of the things that we like to do in therapy is be really direct and honest, and sometimes that means that you may hear responses that you may not like. This may be one of those. We discussed it and we both sort of came to the same conclusion that one of the things is that when you're entering a new relationship, even when it feels vulnerable and scary, that to lead with not necessarily a lie but omitting information, that's actually cause for trouble. So one of the things that we're going to say is that you're probably going to need to have this discussion if you're going to be able to be physical.
Absolutely. I think if you're going into a relationship where it's becoming emotional and you're becoming attached and there's a lot of deep emotional attachment being formed, that it is very risky to leave out things that you know are significant and may have significant impact on the relationship, because you're just setting people up for a lot of hurt by letting them kind of enter in without all the information. And you may get hurt if they choose to not receive it well later, because you've allowed your feelings to get so deep, they may be hurt, the same thing. And so really think that when there's big pieces of information like that, it's better to be authentic and go forward and know you're building based on the truth rather than hoping it'll be okay later.
Right, and we understand that it's scary and that you may not be ready, and we would ask you to sort of listen to that voice, and if it's feeling like I'm not ready to share that information, then you might not be ready to be physical with that person yet. And again, we know that may not be information you want to hear, but we're looking at the best way for you to be able to maintain these multiple relationships in a healthy way for you and the other person. So we would suggest that either you wait until you're ready to have this discussion or move forward with the vulnerability that you're going to have this discussion, and you may not know exactly how it's going to turn out.
Right. And I think, one analogy to look at it a little differently is think about if it was something else. What if somebody was in a relationship with you and you got very involved and deeply involved, and I don't know what your beliefs are, but they then, months after you had deep emotional commitment, said, "Oh, I happen to be married and have 3 kids. I just didn't want to bring that up because I want you to fall in love with me first, and then we can get past this." And even if they said, "Oh, it's okay, it's poly," you still would feel like, wow, I did not have the full information when I was choosing to open myself up and make that emotional attachment. So I think you need to look at it from the other person's perspective and say, how would you feel if somebody was entering a relationship and keeping from you a pretty significant, and I'm assuming it's significant because you feel it's important and you've indicated your relationship with your mistress is extremely important. Why hide that from someone that you're trying to form a long-lasting relationship with?
Right, and the hope is that with that vulnerability and risking and sharing that information, that you will be able to create a level of intimacy and connection more quickly with the person, actually, as opposed to waiting.
Absolutely. So, there's probably ways you can come up with excuses for the markings, but that's not what we encourage you to do, and we're not probably going to suggest any, because we just don't think that's the right approach. So really hope this works out for you. Hope that this is a conversation you can have and build a great relationship out of it. And I know it's not what you probably want to hear, but it's really what we think is the best route for you.
All right, thank you so much, and if you have questions or comments or critiques, feel free to email us at advice@madisonkink.com. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.